What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have Neon Nightmare. Yes, indeed. How about that? Neon Nightmare making their debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-bibbity bop, do me a favor. Before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Edward Doak, and Edward wanted to see me react to this song by Neon Nightmare called Lost Silver. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, hold it, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was posted by Neon Nightmare Topic, okay? And the video has 3,800 views. It's not going to get you there. Sorry. No, look, I'm sure the song is fine. I'm sure the video's fine. I'm sure everything's just fine. I'm just saying. 3,800 views, not going to get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. A link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Lost Silver. That's all I got. It does say Neon Nightmare here. Lost Silver here. I'm assuming we're in the right place. Look, this is the link I was given, okay? So if we're not in the right place, don't blame me. Blame Edward. He's the one that gave me the link. All right, let's do this. Feels like the beginning to a Star Trek movie or something.
Like a ghost emerging from the night, bathed in cool moonlight.
they have some good things going for them. They do. But I feel like they're trying to do one of two things. They're either trying to find their identity, or they're trying to include as many different identities as they possibly can and force them together into one. And I use the word force because it's not working. I'm hearing typo negative influences. I'm hearing the Cure / the Smiths influences. I'm hearing Danzig, I guess is the best way. I don't know if I would go Sam Hain. I don't know if I would go that far, but Danzig, I'm hearing Danzig influences. I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of different directions and a lot of different ways it's being pulled. But here's the thing. Does it sound bad? No, it doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound bad at all. I'm kind of enjoying it. It has the gothic tone, the instrumentation, the voicing selections, very gothic in nature, but at the same time, you got this chugging 16th note pattern. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and depending on the tempo. I mean, it might be 8 though, so it might be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it might be that too, but that's where I'm having a little bit of a problem. Because of that chugging, it doesn't have the laid back, even though it's trying to. You can hear it in the instrumentation when they do sustain their chords. You can get that laid back feel. And the laid back feel is happening in the drums the entire time. The drummer is sitting back in the pocket. But at the same time, the guitars and bass are just chugging. And it's pushing us forward. It's really kind of going against itself. And this is where part of the identity crisis is coming into play. Who do we follow as far as feel goes? Do we follow the chugging and the push? Or do we follow the laid back feel that's happening in the drums and the vocals? I don't know. And that's where my conundrums is occurring, and where it's happening is I'm not sure how to feel on this song. Do I want to feel laid back, or do I want to feel that chugging? I don't know. It's weird. It's not bad. I want to be very clear about that. It's not bad. I'm not hating it. I don't dislike it. I do kind of like it, but I'm really kind of having a hard time identifying what this song is, and more importantly, what this band is. I don't even think they know. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, let's get back to it and let's see where this goes. I think it's 16 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now, like right here, the chugging's gone. We're not doing it. It's 16th though, so I think I figured it out. It is 16th. Okay, So, but now the chugging's gone, and now it's just sustained chords. Now here, we definitely get that laid back feel. We definitely have that sit back in the pocket and groove feel being established by the drummer and just being reinforced by what the guitar players and what the bass player is playing. Makes a lot more sense. This feels more connected. This feels more identified. And I like that. I absolutely like this part without question. The keyboard part, I like it. I do like that keyboard part. Definitely adding to the gothic feel for sure. Kind of that Cure / Smiths feel. I like it. I definitely like that. It's a nice touch. Vocally, he's got a nice voice. He does. I like the variation in his vocal styles. But again, it needs to fit within the context of the song. And there have been times in the song where, you know, we're chugging along, ja, 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 and he's being Peter Steele, but not the powerful Peter Steele, like the ballady Peter Steele, where it's very breathy and laid back while everybody's chugging away. And I'm just like, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. You know, it doesn't quite feel right. You know, it's kind of weird. Or like Glenn Danzig. I'm like, okay, like a vocal style like Glenn Danzig in the Danzig song Blood and Tears. You know, something like that. And it's like, with that chugging feel, I don't know. I don't know if that really locks in. You know, it doesn't quite fit. But then, like when he brings it up into the chunking, okay, that fits like a glove. You know, when he gets the power, the projection, and he's explosive with his vocal delivery. Okay, now we're talking. With that chunking feel, yeah, now we're talking. But again, just misidentification. I think that's really the best way to sum up this whole song. Is there are just places in the song where it misidentifies itself, and I don't know. But we're about halfway through, and we'll see where the rest of this goes. See, now this feels right. This feels good. Drummer laying back on that snare hit. Right here. Now we're chunking away again. But what happened with the drumming though? Did you guys pick up on it? Play it again. See if you pick up on what I did. Listen specifically to the drummer. That riff in the middle kind of reminds me of Not of This Earth from Danzig. Da 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 da. And just like that. That's a total rip off from Not of This Earth. No, Not of This Earth. Not of This World. Sorry. Not of This World. Yeah, that song. What I was talking about in the drums, the approach. Here's the thing. What he was playing didn't really change all that much. The pattern he played didn't change all that much. It was his approach. It's the ride cymbal. Instead of being light tapping on the ride, ding, 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 laid back with everything else happening, all of a sudden the drummer got very aggressive on that ride. And started hitting it, number one, making a harder strike to give it a louder tone, number one. Number two, the placement of the attack. No longer laid back with the snare hits. No longer laid back in the pocket with the rest of the feel. No, it's far more on top of the beat now, which adds to that cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha feel that's happening in the guitars and bass. Awesome. Awesome. Good move on the drummer's part. And it's such a subtle thing. It's such a subtle thing, but it makes a huge difference in the feel of the song. It doesn't feel laid back right now. This feels pushed. This feels driven because of that chunking reinforced by the ride play, which affects everything else happening in the drums as well. So much more identified and clarified definition of where the song is going. That's a great move. Listen to that ride. Peter Steele. Typo negative, absolutely. Total and unashamed rip of Typo Negative. Go anywhere you want with that one. Red Water, Can't Lose You. I think that's the name of the song. I think that's the name of the song I'm thinking of. I know Red Water's in there. A little bit of the Green Man, just a little slower than what the Green Man would go. No, it's such a rip of Typo Negative, but it's being done well. I like the halftime feel change up. I do. The tempo didn't change. We're still, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right in line with those 16 notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. It's the same tempo. The feel changed though. So instead of having the snare on the 2 and the 4, snare's only on 3 now. So it's a nice trick. Good play with feel. I like it. It definitely made the song feel a little more dismal. It made the song feel a little more heavy. I got no issue with it. I'm glad they did it. I just think it's really funny though that now we've completely switched completely and unashamedly completely gone into this Typo Negative tribute. So I think that's great. Anyway, let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. Yep. Boom. Kind of wish they had gone back to the keyboard to end it out like they did at the beginning. I kind of wish they had done that instead of that ethereal ending that they did. It is what it is. All right. This is interesting. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Neon Nightmare with Lost Silver. This was a request from Edward Doak. Okay, I don't know if this is going to be a short review or not. I pretty much said everything I needed to say during the course of the reaction. So I'm going to just try to hit some bullet points and, call it a day. But at the same time, something tells me we may be here a while. So you might want to get comfortable. Let's start off with the score and we'll just kind of go from there and see where we end up. Starting off with that score, on a scale of 1 to 10, believe it or not, I'm going to give that a 7.1. Yep, 7.1. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, a 7.1. What does that mean? Well, a 7.1 would translate to a really good skill rating. So overall, I think this was a really good song. It would also get 4 to 5 stars and a B. Yes, a B. B letter grade. B as in boy. So there you go. 7.1, really good skill rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Now, how in the world did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Okay. There are a lot of things going for this. Far more going for it than going against it. I'm still not 100% sold on the identification of this band and how this band identifies. I'm hearing a lot of different influences. And the thing is, they're not just influences. Some of them are just absolute complete rip-offs. I mean, let's call a spade here, okay? How many times did we hear just direct comparisons to Danzig? How many times did we hear direct comparisons to Typo Negative? How many times did we hear direct, not even influence, direct reflections of The Cure and the Smiths? We heard a lot of different, and like I said, influences. Being influenced by these bands is one thing. Emulating these bands is a completely different thing. And in several sections within this song, like I said, we're not talking about influences. We're talking about direct reflections. they mimic the band almost perfectly. The songwriting approach, you can hear it there. A lot of Typo Negative. Vocally, you heard some Danzig in there for sure. You heard some Peter Steele in there. You can even, it's a little bit of a stretch, but you could even lump in just a little bit of Robert Smith in there from The Cure, just ever so slightly. But mostly revolving around Glenn Danzig and Peter Steele. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, it's one thing to be influenced. It's another thing to completely emulate. And there were times where it was actually working against each other. I talked about this at length. I don't want to talk about it at length again, but I just got to mention it. The section in the beginning where we're chugging on that 16th note pattern. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and we have the drive and the push against the laid back feel of, like, for example, Typo Negative, within the drumming in particular. Just with the drummer sitting back in the pocket and grooving, and they're working against each other to some extent. It just didn't, I didn't know who to follow. Do I follow with the chunking with the 16th notes, or do I sit back in the pocket and groove with the drummer? I'm not 100% sure. If I was the bass player in this band, I think I would have an absolute nightmare. I think I would. I think I might have an aneurysm trying to figure out who do I follow along with here. Do I lock in with the drummer? Do I lock in with the guitar players? I don't know. So I wasn't 100% sure about that, and I'm still not sold on that whole concept. Now, but here's the thing though. There was that section, but then there were also sections where everybody came together and everybody locked in together. The guitars, sustained chords, boom, just sustain with the drummer and that laid back feel, the vocal style fitting the mood and tone of what was happening within that section. Keyboard coming in over the top and taking the lead as far as the melodics go from an instrumental standpoint. That part was nice. I liked that part. And then we switched gears. We went back to the 16-note pattern for the guitars, but this time the drummer, rather than staying back and laying back in the pocket, now he switched up his playing style and he got more aggressive, particularly with the ride cymbal, really utilizing the ride to help establish more of a drive feel from the drums that matched what was happening with the guitars and bass. I liked that part too. So there were parts of the song that I really liked, and then there were parts of the song where I was really confused. Now, I want to be very clear. I didn't hate anything. I didn't hate anything about the song. I didn't even dislike anything about the song. At worst, the very worst, I was confused, and I wasn't 100% sure where to go with it. But that was at its worst. The rest of the song, most of the song, I actually enjoyed. And there's some really good things happening there. Some nice play with feel, some very clean syncopation happening within the guitar and bass with those 16-note patterns. Vocally, the vocalist clearly is pretty talented. I mean, he can switch his vocal style on the fly, anywhere from that breathy, laid back feel a la, Peter Steele, to more of an aggressive, on top of the feel like Glenn Danzig. He was able to flip-flop between the two pretty seamlessly. It sounded good. I had no issue with his vocals. You can hear the influence very clearly, if you can even want to just call it that. I think that's being a little kind. Let's call a spade here. A little plagiaristic, if you ask me. But listen, we're all thieves. We're all thieves. And there's no original musicians. I'm sorry. Everybody has borrowed from somebody else, And who knows, maybe one day down the road, somebody will come along and borrow from these guys, It's very possible. And like Lemmy said.
Do you get mad if a band copies your style?
No. Good luck to them. Maybe they'll do something we can copy later.
I think that pretty much says it all right there. No, this was fun. Believe it or not, I actually did have a good time listening to this. And you look at all the aspects, and like I said, it looks like they're trying to find their identity, and I'm sure they will at some point. But even with that little bit of a distraction, this still turned out to be a really good song. And I'd be willing to listen to this again. Absolutely. I got no issue with it. So yeah, 7.1. I feel good with that score, and that's where we're going to stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow, shall we? We got a 7.1, which is a really good scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for the night, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.